reading that I've been doing for families. I just hope that this is something, like I said, this is something that enriches you. This is one of the things that our family is doing for Advent, and so I encourage you guys to have traditions like this that kind of help you think about what it means for Christ to have come, and to think about all the things that involved. And I think this reading of Saint Is kind of does that for us a little. And so I'm going to be reading. This is actually the first chapter. Yesterday I kind of read it was kind of the preface, and so, but here we go. This is a picture on that. So it says, is the burdens we donkeys bear are never our own. Humans are much the same. They just utterly enjoy resenting the fact. That's from St. Is. Chapter 1. According to my family, I am Issy. I think of myself as Is. By this time in my life, I have been assigned too many names to remember them all. Is will do just fine. Numbered among those beasts called forth to serve the vast imagination of humankind, I bear the burdens of those two-footed beings who create images for their own eyes, notes for their own ears, flavors for their own tongues, and sensations for their own skin. They create empty spaces in which to place themselves and their gods, as if they don't really belong here, to this land, to this vast and magnificent world they wake up in every day and mostly ignore. Humans are strange. All that intelligence floating around in a sea of oblivion. Would the beast could be so lucky. Though blessed with seeing eyes, humans seem to have lost the importance of using them somewhere along the way. They tend, one should note, to see the absence of what they think should be there. Consequently, I am bound to these creatures who create such monumental business for themselves, they indenture the animal kingdom to carry it out. What's more, they don't feel one bit bad about it. Give me a soothing roll on the ground, a good back scratch, and 10 minutes laying hooves up in the sun on the warm of my belly, and I am content. Donkeys know better than to overcomplicate life. And besides, when would we have time? Like any mother, I feel compelled to tell you about my offspring. Having given birth to 2 Jennies and 2 Jacks, like humans, created some special things myself. Unlike all humans but the enslaved, I said goodbye to them forever to continue my long walk in the service of these 2-legged, highly pushy creatures. I have been walking all of my too long life. Humans have blossomed and withered as my feet have wandered through the gardens in which they grow and cast their seed. Before I arrived in Nazareth 12 years ago from my life on the trade routes, I rarely laid my head down for a night upon the same spot of earth. The stars overhead, consistent to my eyes, sometimes showed so clearly, their light pulsing like breath. I only slumbered because tomorrow is always better received with a good sleep. But oh, the stars! Something in me echoed when they showed so brightly. I was frequently overloaded on these routes. All humans, even patient ones, do this when time, materials, and desperation greet each other in wonderment, as if trouble is something new. Oh, hello! It appears we've gotten ourselves into a bind. Fancy that. Believe me, it's nothing new. Believe me, most speedy solutions involve overloading something. Believe me, it's never fun for the overloaded ones, and it's almost never actually our fault. Humans have occupied the earth for many millennia, and despite their intelligence, have yet to learn that applying great amounts of force spurs even greater amounts of resistance. So they try applying more force, and they wonder why things break. Talk about stubborn. Yet humans walk among the rest, and I think they're better, but I should. Yes, certain humans walk around the best, and I think that they're better, but I should. Humans who realize others feel pain, even animals, arise in our lives. And when we beasts of burden find a sympathetic soul, we bear our burden straight and tall, not crouched and always waiting for the sharp spark of a struck pain. Like humans, donkeys pick their favorite person. And sometimes we are joined with someone we feel like we've known all of our lives, even a life as long as mine. Mary is my person. I think about how little we know about Mary growing up. I think about what we could learn. I wonder when we enter into eternity, what questions we might have for her. I think it's interesting to think of Mary as a sympathetic soul, and to remember that she was someone who did not come from the upper class, did not have everything she wanted. Her and Joseph were very poor. When they came to dedicate Jesus and redeem him, they gave 2 turtle doves. The offering that was allowed for those who were very poor. I think about how Mary must have understood what it meant to be burdened. Just like Saint Is talks about in this chapter, that she was sympathetic. I think it's a good analogy that this donkey, this beast of burden, is the narrator of this story of the coming of Jesus, who would bear the burden of all humanity. So, well, tomorrow we will read the next chapter and hear more from Saint Is. Hope you guys are doing well. Have a wonderful